Hey, I'm Leela. Here's what's coming up on Newsbreak. What's happening with the floods in New South Wales? The Socceroos World Cup chances take a hit, and celebrating 20 years of the Harry Potter movies. But first, go on. Floodwaters from the Lachlan River in New South Wales have continued to rise overnight. Thousands of people have had to evacuate their homes. Joe found out what it's like for some of those affected.
These are just some of the scenes we've seen recently across central west New South Wales.
The weather has been pretty crazy this past week. We've had lots of rain, almost 130 mils so far.
All that water's been filling up the Wyangala Dam, which caused it to overflow, pouring into the Lachlan River and bursting its banks all the way up through the towns of Cowra, Gooloogong and Forbes.
It's the worst flood I've seen in my lifetime.
Lacey here lives on a farm near Gooloogong on the edge of the river. The rising water has already done a lot of damage.
The paddocks around the Lachlan River now look like a huge lake. A lot of the crops we were going to contract harvest are now underwater in Gooloogong. It will cost people hundreds of thousands of dollars in losses.
It's also left people in the town of Gooloogong stranded, with many of the roads underwater.
This is the main road to Forbes, and these should be paddocks of hay.
Today, the water level was set to peak at a whopping 10.55 metres at Forbes Iron Bridge. Yesterday, around 2,000 people in the area were evacuated, and the SES has been working in overdrive to help those who chose to stay protect their properties. The Bureau of Meteorology says the water will take a while to drain away, and more rain is due for the weekend. So it's important for all locals who are affected to stay alert and safe around the water.
Someone just told us there's some snakes in here, so we better get out.
If all you want for Christmas is books, then I've maybe got some bad news for you. Many bookshops are facing supply shortages. The transport companies they rely on are struggling to get stock to stores because of demand and staffing problems. The Socceroos World Cup chances have taken a serious hit. Amal has that and more in sport.
It was an ordinary night for the Socceroos against China in their World Cup qualifier. The team was expected to win and got off to a good start.
Mitch Duke!
But a controversial penalty awarded to China saw the game finish 1-1.
And he scores straight down the middle.
The Socceroos have now dropped to third in their group, and only the top two directly qualify for the World Cup. But there are still 4 games to go for the Aussies to turn things around and claw their way back up. If you're desperate for Aussie soccer news that's less upsetting, Sam Kerr's just extended her contract with Chelsea until mid-2024. The Aussie star joined the team in 2019 and last season won the Women's Soccer League Golden Boot. And speaking of Aussies killing it on the world stage, 20-year-old Oscar Piastri's just been named as a reserve driver for the Alpine Formula One team in 2022. Oscar bagged the Formula 3 World Championship in 2020 and is now on track to do the same for this year's Formula 2 Championship.
I'm officially old because it's been 20 years since the first Harry Potter film was released, and I still remember it like it was yesterday. To celebrate the anniversary, the stars of the film are reuniting for a TV special. But that's not all that's happening to mark 20 years of Harry Potter. I said 20 years of Harry Potter. Remember when Harry got his Hogwarts letter? That same one that I'm still secretly waiting for? Well, it was pretty special to the film's graphic designers, and turns out it still is.
The very first prop that I got to design on the Philosopher's Stone and the whole series. So rather naively thinking that it would just be one simple envelope.
And creating a realistic Hogwarts was a big deal for the film's model makers.
Yeah, to me, it's a nice thing, big thing. I don't think you'll get films with those sort of models in them anymore.
From one Hogwarts model to another, except this one is edible because it's cake. Warner Brothers got it made to celebrate the magical anniversary. I gotta say, it looks way too beautiful to ever eat. What better way to relive the magic than recreate it in tiny brick form? LEGO recently held a huge competition asking fans to share their favourite Harry Potter moments. And these are just some of the winning creations. Memories. Alright, that's it for today. We'll catch you tomorrow.